Hey everybody, welcome back to Understable Discourse, your go-to place for all the best weekly disc golf content. And we have a bit of a different episode for you today. I want to take a moment, now that we are sort of in an off week between events, to talk a little bit about the channel. And I know, jumping away from our typical content is obviously not something that most people are probably going to enjoy, but guess what? There are only so many of you out there. So if you're watching, I really appreciate this. But just want to give some updates on the channel, things that we're going to be doing and stuff like that. So we started this bad boy. I started this bad boy 31 weeks ago. And my intent was to really dive into disc golf, pro tour content, and to not miss a beat. I don't want to miss a single week. And there were some weeks where we had a hard time, where we had a video file get corrupted at the last minute, so I had to put something out super late that night. And I told myself, I don't want to do this. And I found that the energy to do it. But we haven't missed a single week in the 31 weeks. Even though some weeks it was a little bit later, and some nights it was a late at night release. And Chain Reaction's been going now for 6 weeks. And honestly, this whole process was rough at the start. I've never done YouTube before. I've been in videos, but I've never obviously made my own. And I'm still learning every step of the way. And it's been a lot of fun. We went through audio and video quality issues. We went through lighting stuff. Now I feel like the audio is pretty crisp. I feel like the video looks fantastic, and we have lights. So that's a whole lot better, which is honestly, I think, great to see for everybody. And, we're going to keep making steps, taking steps forward. And so one of the things that I want to talk about is, what the future looks like for this show. And there's only 2 real events left this year on the Pro Tour. We're looking at USDGC coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And then we have the Tour Championship after that, and then the Match Play Championship. That's why I said 2 real events. The Match Play Championship left, which we'll talk about. That's definitely going to be interesting, I think, for some people. But what are we going to do during the off season? How are we going to keep the content going? And honestly, we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep up the double weekly episodes. On Mondays, we're going to focus on things from the 2025 season, interesting statistics, player storylines that weren't talked about enough, maybe insights that other places missed or that we missed here. All that kind of good stuff. We're going to be really taking, I think, a debrief from the 2025 season, on Mondays. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to focus on the future. We're going to look at the 2026 season. We're going to look at the new events coming up. All the kind of things that you might want to know as we kind of get ourselves into the next chapter of professional disc golf. And what can you expect from me, from the channel itself? Well, first of all, a big boost in overall quality of editing and all that kind of fun stuff. Recently I've been dipping my toes into the world of editing way more than I ever have before, and I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. I don't know. What do you think?
Nice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I'm not quite sure. What about you?
Yes! That's awesome!
Okay. You get the point. We're going to be able to do some fun editing things in the future, and I'm really excited to sort of bring that into these videos and add more. So when we talk about a hole on the tour, I want you to be able to see that hole. I want you to be able to watch a drone fly over while I talk about it and have all kinds of fun things go on. We're going to be doing new things, like maybe having some guests on the show as we talk about the 2025 season. Maybe we get somebody from the Pro Tour on here and talk about the event. I know I am a lowly channel, and we're just trying to grow over here, but fortunately for me, I do have some degree of recognition with the foundation stuff, being on Tour Life and having been a part of all that. So I would like to hope I get some people on here, and we'll have some fun times talking about the season and some other stuff. I'd love to talk to some pros, maybe some local pros, guys who are looking to get involved more on the tour, have them on the show, and a lot of fun stuff like that. So I think you're going to see some things around some possible interviews. And then I think much better and less cheesy thumbnails. Thumbnails are, a science when it comes to YouTube, and I've kind of, up to this point, been trying to focus more on the content inside the video that I'm talking to you about and a little less on that kind of stuff. But I want to put more effort into thumbnails. So you're going to see an uptick in thumbnail quality. Also, there's a special project that I'm working on to be released with the 2026 season, and it's a pretty big deal. It's going to be a lot of work to do, but I think it's something that we'll find a lot of value in. It isn't really being done in disc golf, at least anywhere that I can see, or by anyone who really talks real Pro Tour disc golf. So we're going to be jumping into that a little bit, and I'll tell you more about that as it develops. And yeah, but here's the thing. You're not going to see all these things at once. It takes time, but just know that I'm continuing to work on all this stuff, and you have my commitment that during the off season, we're going to be sharpening all these skills. So what about you? I've talked about myself. I've talked about the channel, but what about you as the listener out there, as the viewer? For those of you who watch this, which by the way, this wouldn't happen. Well, first of all, I would probably talk to a wall if I had to, but to see people out there listening and enjoying is a huge, very important thing to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you who take the time to listen to these episodes, and it means a lot. And one of the things that I would love to do to be able to give back to you is take your suggestions. So I want to know what it is that you want to see. You know, is there a stat that you're curious about, like that you want to know more about? Or is there an opinion or a topic that you want to explore? Do you want to know about a specific player or a course, an event? Do you want to be on the show? Like that kind of thing. The best way to let me know is to comment down below, which I'm going to be trying to engage a lot more with the commenters. You can follow me on Instagram at Understable Discourse, and you know, shoot me a message, and I'd be happy to look into the things that you want to hear more about. And I think that brings a lot of value to both myself as the person who is on here talking to you, and for you as the listener, knowing that what you want to hear is what we're going to inevitably be talking about. But you know, that's it for today. I didn't want to give you a super long episode, just wanted to give you a quick channel update. Make sure you tune in next week on Monday, where we're going to take a look back at some certain moments of the season that kind of got us to where we're at as we lead into the USDGC, throw pink obviously for the ladies, and we're going to take a look on Wednesday next week at the USDGC, the last major of the year for the men, and throw pink, a major in our hearts for the FPO division. But until then, obviously, if you like what you see, please leave the video a like, put in the comments down below, and hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me, and it's the best way you can help this channel grow. I believe we're only a few subscribers away from 100, so if you're listening to this and you're not subscribed, join our party, our team. Let's get this to the triple digits and to the moon from there, beyond that point. But thank you so much, and until next time, make sure you go out there and you play some disc golf, you watch some disc golf. But for now, this has been Understable Discourse. Catch you later, folks.